Oh, 5 o'clock. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is Norfolk Parks and Rec Board meeting, December 18th, 2025. I'd like to inform the public about the location of the Open Meetings Act posted in the council chambers and accessible to members of the public. And we'll do a roll call, please.
Angie Bailey,
Becky Wolf.
Austin Truex.
Melissa Temple.
Jarrett Mills. And we'll move on to the current business. I'll be looking for a motion in a second to approve the full agenda for tonight.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All not in favor, same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. We will look for a motion and a second to consider the approval of the minutes of August 21st, 2025 Parks and Rec Board meeting. Take a look at those. Over on the next page. A couple open topics and one agenda item as well.
All right, I will move to approve the minutes from August.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All not in favor. Motion carries. Looks like another motion on the table for tonight. We'll move to Nate about parks and recreation fees.
Yep, it is time to set fees for next year. We've gone through them. The only thing that we had a couple of things that we wanted to increase, and they are in red. In your handout that we have today, it is in red, so you can see it a little bit better. The packet online that we originally sent, it was came out black and white. This private swim lessons with minimum wage going up, we wanted to make sure we're covering the costs of a private swim lesson. So we've increased that to $20. And then the other items that we want to increase is the athlete fee, just do a regular increase. So we're doing slow increases each year rather than waiting 10 years and doing large ones, or waiting 5 years and doing larger ones that way. This is a little bit more gradual. I do want to say that most of our agreements are in and already turned in for next year. So most, if not all clubs are at the $11 already. So we're really looking for the next round of contracts. We're not necessarily coinciding with a season. This is probably most groups won't be paying that until 2027, but we need to get that set for the future. And then the last item on here is moving our RV sites to $27 to $28. I didn't have anything else that was pressing that we saw that we should increase. Is there any questions or comments?
Didn't we used to, in the beginning of the Aqua Venture, have a season pass for just one? Like, the first year I bought a senior citizen pass just for me. We don't offer that anymore?
We do still have single passes
Oh,
available. Yes.
for the season pass?
Yes, but it's, a lot of people, it just winds up being cheaper to go
Yeah.
in on a pass with somebody, because that equals out to, what is it, $42 or $43 versus paying $100 or $150 for a single. But we do still offer that.
Any other comments?
I'll check on that fee to make sure that it's on the list. Any other questions or comments?
Looks like we're looking for a motion and a second to consider these fees for 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 fee changes.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All not in favor? All right, motion carries. And that is it for current business agenda. We'll move to other business with supervisor reports.
Brian, you want to start off with your parks report?
This goes back quite a long ways here, so. As usual, we prep for various events in the city parks, not so much lately, but shut down Aquaventure for the season. We were still doing mosquito fogging into September. We formed and poured some memorial pads at Skyview. We have not got the benches in yet to complete those. When they come in, we'll get those installed. We're working on a couple loads of playground mulch around the parks. We put one load at Skyview, and the other load is filling holes in around the various other parks. Completed install the boat dock at Skyview. I think you guys, if you haven't walked by, that's turned out pretty good, I thought. Worked on some bids to install some curbing and replace some sidewalks at Skyview. We kind of put that off for now, but we were working on the bids. Been working on some trails to where we got some mud going over the trails up at Skyview. Trying to do some berm work and some other things to keep the water from flowing over the sidewalk. Winterized everything, cabins, restrooms, splash pads, Aquaventure and all sprinkler systems. Finished the sprinkler install at Nord Park. That project is pretty much done. We'll have to do some stuff with the grass in the spring, but finished sidewalk replacement at Liberty Bell. Just broke out about 70 feet and had that replaced because it was all shattered from the trucks driving across it and things. Finished seeding the dirt work at Liberty Bell. Finished seeding and the dirt work, sorry. Worked on removing the flowers from around town, digging the cannabulbs, all the fall stuff we usually do with the flower beds. I got about halfway done with the project to install some riprap around Tahazuka, just to keep the banks from washing away since we raised the water level. All of our old concrete's underwater, so now we're in the process of doing that. Probably won't get that finished up till next year now because the concrete breakouts have stopped. So we don't have any material to break up and spread around, but through the winter, if they have breakouts, we'll continue working on that. Bryce continues to work on planting trees around town. Like I said, this is a couple months old, so. Transplanted several trees from the Taha nursery. We're, like I said, it's old. Continue watering, upkeep of the new trees. We attended the NERPA conference in Kearney, all the supervisory staff. Erected the Christmas tree and worked on Christmas decorations and the banners. Removed the fountains from Taha Lake. Installed a 20 by 12 patio at Johnson Park Ice House. That was just like patio pavers. Installed Christmas banners along First Street. Removed all the awnings around town. We were still fertilizing and doing weed control into the end of October. Installed the missing handrails and benches downtown. What didn't make the list last couple of weeks, we've been working on, we started working on some bathrooms down here this week. Working on finishing our shop break room. We epoxied the floor last week, and this week we got the cabinets installed, or they're working on installing them. They're just about done. And then cleaned our shop storage area out there and just scrapped a bunch of stuff that had been sitting around for 15 years, some of it, and cleaned up a lot of unnecessary stuff. Built some shelves, some more storage in our big building out there for whatever, Christmas decorations, whatever we need to put on it. But that's what we've been working on. So.
Are the pickleball and tennis courts, do those nets stay up in the winter or do those get taken down?
That's the sports guys' area, but
We usually, I like to keep them up in the winter just because we do have nice days.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if if we should be taking them down or not.
Yeah, I was just thinking there have been some nice days, like it would be, yeah.
We haven't taken
Nice,
them
okay, okay. Okay, I haven't been down there in a while, but.
With the pickleball, I do know pickleball is very popular. If it's a nice day, they want to get out there. They want to be putting them up and down.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sounds good.
they may, yeah, it's something, yeah.
I had asked, because some people, friends of mine that play tennis, said, how come the ants are still out there? They're gonna be ruined. And so that's, yeah, because normally we used to always do it. But, yeah, with the weather, sometimes it's really nice.
Any other questions for Parks? Okay, for sports, Crystal is not here today. Memorial, the elevator lift that was broken most of the summer has been repaired and is working. They've been working on the fields, at Taha. We're doing a lot of sod work and kind of fixing those old lips that were, causes balls to jump pretty high when you're, trying to catch them. So it's more level. So that's been going very well. The winterizing is done. Ice rink has been open and up and running. That's been going well. We haven't really had any issues this year. I don't have any, the backstop, I know, at Liberty Bells, the poles that I heard were going up today. I don't know if that got done or not with the wind. I've not heard the follow-up on that. The backstop's just about completed at Field 3 at Taha. And they are working on the press box that's kind of the remainder of the Kohler funds. And then we'll probably bring, with the remaining funds that we have in that project, we'll probably bring something forward to council next month on what to do with the remaining funds there. It needs to be at the Kohler complex, but I'm thinking a playground needs to be replaced. If you've seen the old one there, it's pretty old. Any other questions on sports? For recreation, let me see if we have. Just running through here. Yeah, I know we did the skateboarding school. We had successful programs this summer with that. The trunk or treat was a very successful event as well. They had the family pumpkin hunt. Again, lots of good numbers at these events. I don't see anything specific here that we've been down a rec coordinator here for a couple months, so we haven't had too much going on. We did have all the winter programs with all the Christmas lights and events that we had downtown for that, and the Christmas tree lighting ceremony as well. That was a pretty windy day, but that did cause some problems with our electrical on that tree lighting. It's anytime you can test it, but then it's windy like it was today. You just never know. So we did have a few issues with that, but any questions on recreation?
What was the donation for the ice rink?
We're working on that right now. We don't have a proposal yet. That'll probably come to you next month. I don't want to share anything just yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
And then are there hockey classes happening again?
Yes,
I can see on that.
Okay.
So hockey, yes, we're offering passes for hockey, or you can just come play stick and puck is what we call it. Hockey is on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. We are gonna move the Wednesday time because our hours are shifting, so we'll be open from 1 to 9, starting over Christmas break here. So we already started that on weekends, but those flyers updated and out on our, Parks and Recreation Facebook page, so, but yeah, but the ice rink, like Nate said, is going really well, and it's been busy, so it's a good problem to have, and a lot of people really enjoy it.
Did you have to close with the warm days last year?
No,
No.
no, so the ice actually stays, good. It's kind of a, knock on wood, guarantee, to 50 degrees. And we've had days where it's been 54 and it's still been okay. Sometimes with the sun, if it's in the right spot, it beams on the sides just right, or it creates kind of hot spots where we might have to cone off the section for people to skate around, but, most of the rink is still fine, so. And then if it ever becomes a safety concern issue, then we'll close it, but we have not had to do that yet, so.
How is the beverage contract coming and implementation?
Yep, we're implementing that. PJ can speak to
Yeah,
that.
so we are ready to move with the Coke, so we contacted Coke and Mahaska to do the switch, and, we're ready to go the first of the year. Coke's fine with it, being that next week and not exactly on the first. It's not a day for the contract to start, it's a holiday, but, we are ready. They're gonna be putting vending machines in the parks, in some of the parks, and changing those out, and, we'll start getting the revenue on those, and then, we'll switch to Coke products, so we're ready to go with that stuff for concessions.
Honestly, congratulations, good work on that, because I know that's a big undertaking, and to get that type of donation and revenue is good for the parks and stuff, so.
Yep, the agreement was for 150,000 over 10 years, and statewide, most of the highest I've seen was 40, so we did pretty well with that one.
That's credit to Nate, he worked hard on it, getting that pulled together.
Are you currently looking for a new recreation director?
Recreation coordinator, yeah.
Coordinator, yes, so we did have those applications out, we did first round, interviews, and, we're moving forward, and kinda gonna see which direction we go there, but, yeah, so we have that out. We also have our summer staff applications out for Aquaventure, and recreation help. We try to capture them when they're home, the college kids are home on Christmas break, to start thinking about, turning those apps in, so we can kind of see where our numbers are setting with lifeguards.
Did you cut pay for the lifeguards last year at the end of the season?
No, we didn't cut pay for anybody unless they switched positions. So if they went from lifeguarding to working concessions, then they switched to concessions pay after the water park closed. But there was no pay cuts for any lifeguards.
Does the minimum wage, you mentioned that earlier, does that go into an effect this next year?
Yeah, that's what bumped us up. And we had to,
Maybe that's what some of the lifeguards said their pay changed whenever it was going to change it.
That's for this upcoming season, so then it's gonna switch, and that's budget issues that.
yeah, the lifeguarding has gone from 13 to almost 17 now, so, like, it's, and minimum wage is at 15, so.
Is that 15?
We had, just 4 years ago, some of those were $9 an hour, so,
Well, and I know some of them have been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So theirs was higher, and so maybe they misunderstood that if they were making more than the 17, that it was gonna go down.
Yes, and we do plan on sending a message to the previous employees of Aquaventure and the lifeguards to let them know the apps are up. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, they still get paid decently, and it's competitive with the other local communities, their lifeguard pay is. And, in the summertime, they can, it's exempt, so they can, pick up shifts and get those extra hours where they have the possibility of making really good money.
And I think maybe what you might be seeing is the way the structure changes is there's no increase for coming back and doing the same job. The increase comes if you come back and you're a lead you move up in a position. So we're no longer, we just couldn't put it in the budget. It was hard. It was a hard stretch this year because I think we had to
Yeah,
increase
like
our
Nate
budget.
was saying, our budget was set for $14 average for a lifeguard, but our real average for a lifeguard was like 16 to 17 because we did have people that stayed so long. And so they got those increases, and so that's why it was removed. But we stayed competitive with local towns to keep them wanting to come back and get those hours and teaching some lessons, things like that. There's offers there, there's potential there for making incentive pay. So like if you're a swim lesson teacher, it's kind of like a bonus basically, but you get paid for those services. So the opportunities are still there for them. So hopefully that, could get out there, and if they have questions, they're always welcome to call and I can explain.
So is there just one unfilled position in right now for full-time for the?
We're also missing the administrative assistant, so that's why I'm back there manning the cameras here. So, so we're hiring for that as well. We do have some interviews coming next week that we'll be interviewing on Tuesday. And so hopefully after the first of the year, sometime in January or 1st of February, we'll be fully staffed again, is our goal, so.
Any other questions for Rec? I'll just kind of run through some updates on projects. I was looking for the mini pitch. That kind of fell through the cracks that would have been on that kind of came last minute. This is for Liberty Bell. This is a mini pitch court. It's a soccer for, it's quicker footwork and it kind of trains kids on moving fast. There will be 6 goals. There'll be a goal here, and then the outside goals. So you'll have 6 goals in the mini pitch area. This was donated by an anonymous donor, and we are out for RFPs for that right now. We'll hopefully be able to take that to council in the first meeting in January. Is there any questions on that? I just wanted to bring that up because you might have heard about that at Liberty Bell where the old pool is. It's about 75 to 80% donated. So.
That's more like a futsal or?
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is.
Instead of with futsal, the court being more like a flex court, this is turf. So, yep, so it's to focus on soccer foot skills is what it's made for. And there's no throw in, you set the ball down, and it's very fast paced. Younger kids will play off the walls, older kids will be out of bound lines.
Is there a full soccer field in the vicinity in that area?
We have there's I would call it a multi-purpose field there at Liberty Bell. We have it in our Liberty Bell concept to have a soccer field there. It wouldn't take much. We have the irrigation. It's about some goals and probably some field improvements to do that. I could see that in the near future.
And soccer community, we do need goals, so, and it's nice, it's a nice location because it's walkable for kids or adults that don't have cars.
And this will be $675,000 worth of donations that we've received in Liberty Bell Park. So that would include the pickleball courts and the playground, and now this mini pitch. The other thing that's remaining at Liberty Bell is the backstop replacement. I already mentioned that. The Victory Road sculpture is about ready to come forward to be installed, but because of winter, it probably won't happen until March. We are waiting on DOT is what we're waiting for on that one. The adult softball league, at the adult softball complex at Taha, that's part of the LWCF grant fund. We are looking for a design firm right now. We've just sent out our RFP for that. And that will be the first of 4 fields to the north of the Kohler complex. And then the construction for that, we're hoping this summer. 275 tree planting project, we are bidding out that project currently. Hopefully have those bids in January, and that's to and put in trees from 81 all the way to the off on ramp at the hospital. Another 150 trees. We are working to get the First Street put in across the street for the river and get that ready for next summer. We're working with engineering on that right now. We did receive a $70,000 donation for improvements at Skyview. We are putting that towards the trail lighting project. We're going to do some infrastructure and get that ready and maybe get some design work done, and then we'll see what that costs to finish, and we'll go after some funds to finish that. Any other questions? We are putting irrigation in this year at Skyview, the dog park as well. Those will be coming this summer. Any other questions on just department-wide?
Replace memorial bleachers.
Those wooden, a lot of them have wood underneath that's warped.
Yeah.
We're gonna replace all those
To metal.
with aluminum, yeah.
Aluminum, sorry, okay.
What does the e-bike ordinance cover?
I've been, that gets brought up often. And e-bikes and all those things are changing, and so it's kind of in review right now, and we've got so much on our plates right now with that, and we're shorthanded, so some of these things are sitting here, but we don't have an ordinance for e-bikes.
People are using them.
They are using them. Yes, you can use them on trails. It's not to, it's just, it's more along the lines of save what you can use and where. So they go up to 28 miles an hour. You really don't want that on a 4-foot sidewalk. It's just dangerous.
Would this include scooters too?
You want to keep those on the wider trails, the faster ones, and so it's something that we need to address. I get email complaints every once in a while with pictures, because some of them look like motorcycles, and those ones do go about 28 miles an hour. So we got to determine what needs to be on the road and what can be on a trail, and kind of make those definitions.
Has there been any talk of not having class 3s allowed, like on paths and stuff? The ones that go over 20 miles an hour up to 28 miles an hour?
That's the conversation.
I know a lot of municipalities, I think, around the country do that, just because it's not safe to have people walking next to someone else riding on a bike going over 20 miles.
Exactly. So,
Is there already an ordinance for sidewalks? For e-bikes
no, we don't have e-bikes in a city ordinance at all.
okay, so this would kind of cover
We've-
and downtown.
Yeah, we do have bicycle ordinances, but not e-bikes. It would fall in line with the bicycle ordinance, but we would determine what class of e-bikes would be permitted and where. But it's something that I haven't even got that to legal, so that's a year-long process, I'm guessing. And that at some point we would bring something forward here, and then we would and then it'd go to council.
So I imagine at some point, people are gonna wanna put in a lime or something like that for like e-bike or an e-scooter, especially as more trails get connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that can be really
Oh,
great
they're-
for tourism and recreation, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's growing, and it's, yep. And you see all kinds of, they've got the unicycle ones as well. I don't know what they call those, but they stand on a single wheel. I couldn't do that, but.
What's this senior center discussions? Could you talk about that?
So there's been discussions with the senior center on helping out with their maintenance of their facility. We're already there mowing over there, and so there's been discussion about that for some time, and so we're working with the board on how that might look and what an agreement might look like, and see what we can do to help them out. But we're just working through that slowly.
What's the UNL student project?
They were working on designing College View Park, and they're doing a concept design for College View to give us some ideas. And they did their first presentation last week with, I watched their presentations, and I think they're doing a great job of coming up with some good ideas. And then they're actually going to do some design work. We can use it or not use it, or use part of it, but it's helpful for me because it's given me ideas of what we can do over there, and maybe some things that we can bring forward at some point in the future. We really need a playground in that area because you have to cross a major road to go to a public playground if you're live in that area.
And then with the swing in Johnson Park, would that be like part of the nature playground?
Mm-hmm.
The concepts that we saw last year?
Yep. So, and another one, there's a few projects that aren't even on here because I've been busy, but the Berry Hill Playground as well will be coming to you soon. We'll get a concept together and we'll bring some ideas forward, and that's on the list for install this year as well. Any other questions?
Any other open topics or concerns? Seeing none, look for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Being adjourned. Happy holidays, everybody.